Hello, wrestling fans, and welcome to the Monday Night Raw review. I'm your host, the Invincible E. Vincent. This show is brought to you by UnifiedWrestling.com. Every wrestler, all belts, one ring. Wow, tonight was sort of packed. There was a lot of stuff going on in tonight's Monday Night Monday Night Raw, rather. The show was broadcasting from Phoenix, Arizona. Starts out with CM Punk coming out to the ring. He says that he's going to have, obviously there's going to be the big match for the championship between him and Dolph Ziggler this Sunday. He already is pretty much sure that John Laurinaitis is going to screw him. John Laurinaitis said as much last week, and he doesn't care because he just basically wants to get his hands on John Laurinaitis and throw him a nice solid beating. Now, CM Punk goes on to say that as long as he can get his hands on John Laurinaitis, he doesn't care. John Cena comes out. He makes it known that he wants to get his hands on John Laurinaitis, basically for the setup that happened last week with Zack Ryder having to go toe to toe against Kane, and the injuries that resulted from it. John Laurinaitis comes out. He says that he, even though they both had some problems with him. Basically everybody has bad days, and sometimes we say things we don't mean. But he meant everything he said last week as far as about him screwing CM Punk come Royal Rumble for the WWE Championship. Now he also goes on to announce that Zack Ryder has a match tonight against Kane. Again, for the Falls Count Anywhere match, and if Cena gets involved, Zack Ryder is never going to get his U.S. Championship rematch. Now, we move on to match number one. This was John Cena and CM Punk versus Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Now, this match ended with Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger winning after Ziggler basically got the roll-up on CM Punk. After John Laurinaitis, as CM Punk was getting the better of Dolph Ziggler, John Laurinaitis jumped up onto the apron and started to draw Punk's attention. Now, this happened again one more time. John Laurinaitis interfered in the match, basically in favor of Dolph Ziggler against CM Punk. CM Punk grabs a mic and tells the Laurinaitis that since he's dead set on handing the championship to Dolph Ziggler, all he wants to do is just have one match, go toe-to-toe against Johnny Ace. He wants to get John Laurinaitis in the ring. John Laurinaitis, stands his ground and accepts the challenge. And he says he's going to wrestle him tonight. And as the show moves on, Chris Jericho comes out. Now, he was here to host the highlight reel. And Chris Jericho comes out, as he has been doing for the past couple of weeks, the past 3 weeks actually, comes to the ring. You expect him to get the crowd up. No, he tries to quiet the crowd down. Then he jumps out of the ring again, runs to the back, comes back with a t-shirt cannon, aims it at the front of the crowd, the left of the crowd, then the back of the crowd, then the right of the crowd. Goes a couple of circles, the crowd keeps getting hyped up. Then he gets rid of that and grabs the mic, and he says, this Sunday at Royal Rumble, it's going to be the end of the world as we know it. As you know it. And then leaves. This was after he showed his highlight reel, but basically spanned his pretty much his entire WWE career from the beginning of the early 2000s on through to these past couple weeks. After that, there was a promo for the Royal Rumble, which was followed by Mick Foley telling Zack Ryder that he can go ahead and win the match with Kane. He just believe in himself and he can do it. Eve tells him that he shouldn't do it. Zack Ryder has been cleared to wrestle, but he's still very, very much injured. They have his ribs taped up, and John Cena says that he's got his back, and Zack Ryder says, "No, I don't want you to help John Cena because I want my rubber match. I want my rematch for the United States Championship, and so don't interfere, please." And Zack Ryder goes out to the ring. Kane gets in the ring, and Zack Ryder basically gets murdered. Kane kicks him up one side of the ring and back, outside of the ring, out into the crowd. Basically, it was just stomp on Zack Ryder day. It was terrible. This match culminated with basically Kane taking him all the way back up the ramp, bouncing him off the WWE symbol up there, then choke slamming him all the way through the stage to a second deck underneath there. And from there, they showed Zack Ryder gingerly being carted away. First, they got the backboard, then they got out the stretcher. He was taken away in an ambulance. Cena says that he's going to take care of this thing and don't worry about it. And Eve tells John Cena that he's already done enough. And she was going to go with Zack Ryder. She jumps in the ambulance, and the ambulance leaves. So basically, the match winner for that match was Kane. Following that, we had match number 3, which was Jinder Mahal versus Sheamus. This match was pretty short. It ended with Sheamus ending it with a brogue kick. Now, after the match, this was sort of a warm-up for the Sheamus and Wade Barrett match that's coming at Royal Rumble. Sheamus and Wade Barrett were shooting back and forth at each other. Sheamus says he'll be the only one standing at the end of Royal Rumble on Sunday. And Wade Barrett goes to get in the ring, but then stops when Sheamus comes towards him, and he goes ahead and leaves. Now, following that, we had The Miz talking to, actually getting interviewed, going on and on about how he's disrespected. He's the number one must-see wrestler, blah, 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 everything you've heard before. R-Truth comes out and says that he's market researcher Eric Fleischer, and he explains that The Miz is the number one whiner, number one nincompoop, a number one WEIO, which means when people see him on TV, they ask what else is on. John Laurinaitis comes out, tells him that he's trying to get ready for his wrestling match. He's not trying to hear all this number one this, number one that. And he tells them that whoever loses the match that they have tonight is going to be chosen number one in the Royal Rumble. And basically being chosen number one in the Royal Rumble is almost a guarantee that you're not going to win. Now, following that, they had Michael Cole and Jerry the King Lawler were talking. They mentioned that Zack Ryder was reported to have a broken back. I believe this is obviously in the story, but looked ugly, and so probably not going to see Zack Ryder for too much in the near future. Now, David Otunga came out and gave Laurinaitis a fax. John Laurinaitis didn't look too happy once he read it. This was followed by what was to be the match between CM Punk and John Laurinaitis. Now, John Laurinaitis came out, followed by David Otunga. Laurinaitis said that he had received a fax from the board of directors. Almost the exact same wording that both Triple H got, and also the big man a little while back when both of them were being showed the door. The fact said the board of directors had become concerned with the questionable judgment that John Laurinaitis had been demonstrating as of late. In particular, the blatant statement that he was going to screw CM Punk in the championship match at Royal Rumble. Following that, they basically mentioned that John Laurinaitis' status as the interim general manager for Raw was going to be under review. And next week on Raw, he will be receiving his job evaluation by none other than Triple H, the man that he gave the axe. This means that basically if CM Punk gets screwed by Johnny Ace at Royal Rumble, he's fired. Now, Laurinaitis went on to try and apologize for every crappy thing that he's done up to this point. He says that Mick Foley is in fact going to be included in Royal Rumble on Sunday, so that's something. But the CM Punk was basically relishing this. He told him that he hoped that he got fired, but Laurinaitis said that under the circumstances, that being that his performance is under review, he can't participate in the match tonight. But he got a replacement for him, which is David Otunga. And David Otunga immediately attacked CM Punk. Otunga got some shots in, but CM Punk was able to lock on the Anaconda Vice. and Tonga basically tapped out. No bell had actually rung, so it wasn't really a match as such. But after that, CM Punk popped up back in John Laurinaitis' face. Now David Otunga tried to attack again from behind, but CM Punk caught him with a back kick, and it looked like John Laurinaitis was going to try and take advantage of that, but to no avail. CM Punk popped back up in his face again, and Laurinaitis tried to leave. He was like saying, "Hey, no problem, no problem." Stuck out his hand like he wanted to shake hands. CM Punk shook hands with him, then reeled him in and dropped the go to sleep on him. Now he basically fell to the mat, and after that, CM Punk's music came up, but then all of a sudden, CM Punk gets clobbered from behind by Dolph Ziggler, his opponent for the match at Royal Rumble this Sunday. Now Punk is down on the ground, and Dolph Ziggler is the only one standing, and the show pretty much ends at that point. That's pretty much all we had tonight. Good little lead-in for moving towards Royal Rumble. We'll see what happens on Friday, what last little pieces of the puzzle they're going to put together for SmackDown. But until that time, this is your host, the Invincible E. Vincent. Go ahead and check in on Thursday for the TNA Impact review with Caesar Scorpio. And for myself, the Invincible E. Vincent, take care and enjoy the rest of your week.